So let's look at that, those few seconds of video. What do we see first? There's no prevention. The person is just a victim of the situation. So prevention means being on alert. The person was clearly just minding their own business, looking down. To use prevention as a good way of managing the situation, you really need to be alert and be aware of your surroundings at all times. And also know your way out and know what other ways you can do to manage the situation. And that person lives there, so they should know other ways out. And by other ways out, I mean a way of just kind of move to the side, and so that I can reduce my dog's reactivity to a situation. And also it's important to be aware that associate learning is very much down to constantly repeating behavior. So the dog is reactive because apparently she's reactive at everything, but also we know that with a different handler she is a lot better. So this particular handler needs to be more aware, needs to use prevention to manage the situation. And by prevention, I don't mean just walking at midnight or walking in places where there are no dogs. I really mean just being aware and know what you're doing. I see a dog far ahead. Okay, so I take control of the situation. My dog is by my side at this point. Do I need to have a shorter lead? Fine, I do so. But I have my dog by my side. I distract the dog. I walk in a different direction. I do things to prevent the dog from reacting to that situation. And the second thing to do is to know that having the dog reacting to the same situation, it just grounds the dog behavior. Okay, if the dog behaves in the same way, in a different in the same situation, and they get the same response, then they're going to behave in the situation in the same way over and over and over whenever they find themselves in that situation. This is it's a very simple concept, because if you pay attention to your own behavior, you realize that you behave in the same way. If you get a certain result in a situation, then your behavior in that situation is going to be grounded in a specific behavior. So it's associative learning. Okay, so to help the dog snap out of the situation of a reactive or anxious behavior, you simply need to be taking control of the situation, being assertive, and being in the right mood and being in the right state of mind. Let's remember always that dogs can smell our mood. So if you are dealing with an anxious or reactive dog and you feel anxious, then the situation is just going to get worse. Okay, just look at yourself first. What is my mood? And make yourself calm, and then the dog will become calmer. And manage the situation. Know how to manage the situation, and always have a way out. And really be motivated. Okay, let's think about this dog's mental state. Let's look at those few seconds, how much energy the dog puts into just reactive in that way, and her state of mind. Think about her state of mind, how she must be feeling. And every time she goes out, she behaves and she reacts in that way 100 times. So think about how exhausted she might be every time she goes out, every time she is put into those situations. and she has no way out. She doesn't know how another way to react to the situation. No one is teaching her another way to get out of those situations, another way to behave when she is in those situations. So really, it's important. Prevention, be mindful, be aware of your surrounds, know what you're doing, know a way out, take control of the situation, and communicate with your dog.